Hey, this is Omar from DepressionHero.com, where I show you how I beat depression, and I think you can too using the same techniques that I'm going to show you. Today actually I was going to make a whole bunch of videos for you, and it turns out that, well, for the past week actually, that the neighbors next door are building a house. It's a new house, and so they have been all day, they've had this massive machines and bulldozers and all kinds of stuff just moving earth and pounding it down, and it's been driving me nuts for the last week. And oh, here you go again. My whole house is vibrating, and this whole week, even on Saturday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, they were doing something. I have no idea what it was that they were doing, but there was this massive vibration. It was like my whole brain inside my head was shaking like this. And even now my windows are shaking. I actually had some plates on the walls downstairs, and I removed them just in case the vibrations would cause them to fall. So why am I telling you all this, and what does this have to do with depression? Well, the whole idea about this video and this video series is to look at everyday life and to see what we can learn from depression. And a lot of times in our lives, we try and control the environment around us. You know, I'm a control freak, I admit it. And I try to really control what's happening around me. I try not to allow things to be a certain way, and I really want them to be a certain way. And of course, life is not like that. Life doesn't allow you to control it. Life is in charge. And it's my job to adapt. And again, we come back to this adaptability. And so I was sitting at my computer, and I was getting really upset and pissed off. And I was fuming. I was walking back and forth. I was looking at the neighbors, and as if that was going to help. You know, it was just something to release my anger. And so rather than just sit there and stew about it, I'm making this video for you about it. And again, it has to do with control. And the whole lesson here is that when we get depressed, when I was depressed because certain things happened to me that were beyond my control. And since I'm a control freak and I want things to be in a certain way, and they're not in a certain way, I got depressed. And then, of course, the conversation starts in my head about, oh, because things didn't work out the way I wanted them to work out, I'm a loser, which is a complete, absolute fallacy. It's wrong. But my mind has a way of convincing me that my perspective, my point of view is the only point of view, and it's the correct point of view. And so when life happens, which it does, life happens, and it happens in opposition to what I think life should be and how life should be happening, I was getting depressed. For example, as I've mentioned before many times, I lost $2 million. Okay? I suddenly went from being completely free, traveling all over the world, literally doing whatever I wanted, to suddenly being in debt, being in this very ugly lawsuit. And in my mind, I was thinking to myself, I shouldn't be in this situation. I shouldn't be in this situation. And this should comes out. And suddenly, my mind goes off on this path of negativity. And this negativity, I'm not sure if you can hear this vibration, but I can feel it in my whole body, and even this desk is like just totally vibrating. And that's the reason I'm making this video for you right now as they're doing this vibration, because like when I lost that money, like even other things that happened to me, it wasn't how life was supposed to be in my life, in my mind. And yet, that's reality. And so I was getting angry at myself. I was getting angry at life. I was getting angry at everybody. And I felt like the whole world was out to get me, because life didn't turn out the way I wanted it to be or the way I expected it to be. And this is a perfect example of that that's happening right now. And I was able to catch myself. It's like, oh man, these guys are driving me nuts. And so I was fuming, I was walking back and forth. I sent my girlfriend an email saying, these guys are driving me nuts. And so then I decided, you know what, I'm going to use this. This is a lesson, because the whole thing about life is to learn. That's my thing. Everything is a test. You're learning from life. You're adapting. If you don't learn, if you don't adapt, you become rigid. And when you're rigid, you can't move, you can't enjoy life, you're not alive. The only time that you're rigid is when you're 6 feet under. And that's not our purpose on life. Life is to live and to enjoy and to experience and to be alive and to move your body and to move your brain and to move your emotions and just see what's happening and learn from it. That's my perspective. So I was getting angry and I decided, I caught myself. And that's the whole thing, is you have to learn how to become aware of what's happening inside of you, how to become aware of when your thoughts just start taking you off on this very, very negative road. Because when you have negative thoughts, suddenly your emotions become negative, suddenly my emotions became negative, and I was getting angry and upset, and I became completely unproductive, working at the computer, doing my work. And I was completely unproductive. I was just angry. And so I decided to adapt. So my thought process was, how can I use this? And here is the video. And as you noticed, maybe you didn't, but the vibrations just stopped. So that's the other point I want to make. And I was hoping that they were going to do it earlier, but they just did it now. And here's the other point. Nothing goes on forever. Nothing goes on forever. These people were driving me nuts. They took some breaks, they started again. Now they're taking another break. It's not the whole time. Of course, in my mind, it was like the whole time, but it wasn't actually. There were moments when they were taking a break. And that's the whole thing. It's really important, it's vital for you to get this lesson. It's never forever. It's never forever. It lasts for a short amount of time. You have to learn to get the lesson. You have to learn to adapt. Because if you've got a mountain there, the mountain is not going to move for you. You've got to go around it, climb over it, build a tunnel. There's different options. Or take another road. The thing is, adapt, learn, become aware of yourself, of your body, of your thoughts, especially when they just get carried away, and realize that it's not going to be forever. But in the meantime, in that moment, you have to adapt, move with it, flow with it. Another thing I could do is actually go outside and do my errands. I have a whole bunch of errands to do. So that's another thing that I could be doing instead of getting upset. It gives me an excuse to leave the house. It gives me an excuse to go out and get a bunch of things crossed off my to-do list. So that's the video for today. Adapt, learn, and realize that nothing goes on forever. Okay? So if you have any questions, just let me know. Go to DepressionHero.com if you want to get more videos like this, and look forward to talking to you in the next video. Take care.